What is up, y'all? I am Ant, joined by my two friends. Introduce yourselves.
What's up, everybody? It's Macho Man Dan.
Macho.
Dig it.
And what's up? I'm Christian, back at it again.
It's Christian Cage, everybody. It's Christian Cage over there.
Christian Cage is a fucking stud. We haven't seen him on TV in a while though.
Yeah.
Well, he's hurt, but I don't know. I kind of miss Christian Cage.
I don't like this
the
fucking
old,
position.
I like the
I'm listening.
old-
Go ahead.
I like the old Christian Cage, but all right, yeah, I'll take that. I'm Christian Cage, and I'm back at it again.
I'm Ant, your WWE pay-per-view champion.
Not for long.
Yeah, well, we still got to, listen. I have been
Every
champion.
November he wins that title, then there's no December pay-per-view, so he holds it on for longer. So
I
it's
know.
I'm the longest reigning WWE pay-per-view champion. I mean, twice. Two-time longest reigning WWE pay-per-view champion.
not how that works, but okay.
I should be in the Hall of Fame already.
You hold it on for like 2 months only because there's not a pay-per-view in December. That's the only reason.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Okay, yeah. You say I'm gonna take that title just like I did last year.
This is my baby.
Mhm.
Ain't going nowhere.
Dude,
Yeah,
they're
said that last
cheaper
year.
with the holidays coming around. Like, you go on WWE Shop, they're actually not that bad. Like, they dropped down. I should have got one, but like, I don't know. I'm so indecisive. I don't know which one. Anthony, I don't know how you chose yours to personally. There's just so many to choose from.
I chose mine because this is the title that like all the big guys I grew up on had.
See,
Rock,
that's
Stone
why I
Cold.
want. That's why I want the spinner. WWE
That's
title.
awesome.
That's
Get
the
the
one I
spinner.
grew up on.
Yeah,
That's
the spinner
one I
one's
grew
sick.
up on.
Yeah, get it for that reason. Then I mean,
I don't know. I don't really care. I'm gonna sound like that jackass who says the spinner looks like a toy. No belt.
The spinner was really good.
the spinner was cool as fuck, guys.
With the spinner is it only fit a handful of guys. If you saw that with the Undertaker, it wouldn't look like a main championship.
I would agree with that.
It only
couldn't
looked good
see
on
Undertaker.
Randy Orton, Triple H, and John Cena. Those were the only 3 guys I'd say looked good with. Because Edge had to use the rated R spinner to make it look good. I mean, I'm just saying, bro.
Okay, I know Hardy didn't hold the title for long, but it looked good with him on it too.
He
didn't hold it. He held it for like a month, but
Yeah.
I think he should have held it longer.
Nah, bro. If you ask me, the World Heavyweight title was the better looking title.
I can agree.
I
with
think
that.
this title's the best looking title. I think I'm the only relevant champion here. So let's move on to WWE Friday Night SmackDown. Sorry, guys. I have to always be my
smart.
heel, man. I have to, move over.
MJF.
Yes. Who?
MJF.
I don't.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You don't know who that is. I forgot. You don't know who that is.
No idea.
Never
Is
heard
that like a ketchup, mustard, some sort of like barbecue sauce? Like,
I think so.
okay. Well, maybe I could put it on my hot dog, or maybe I could step on. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. So Friday Night SmackDown from December 16th, 2022, live in Chirac, Chicago, Illinois. And
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
Basically, we see Sami
No one
Zayn.
likes him anymore. No one likes him anymore.
I don't give a fuck about CM Punk, to be honest with you guys.
I don't either.
I liked him, but I don't know. I don't like him.
I don't give two shits.
I don't give 2 fucks. So Sami Zayn and the Usos arrive backstage. This is pretty cool to see them show up on SmackDown. They're getting ready for Sami Zayn to supposedly be made into a new man. Sami looks good. He's got his hair done. His beard's trimmed up. He's looking good. Dapper Sami. I feel like I'm snoring. I'm not snoring crack, everybody. I'm just trying to hold in my sneeze. So if you see me go like this, that's why.
I don't know, man. You snorted some last time we recorded, so.
Well, I was super high, and you can check that episode out on the archives. That was a fun moment. So thank you, cheap plug, Dan. I appreciate you, sir. We'll talk about the Bloodline later on in the night, but let's talk about the tag match to start off the night. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championships on the line. The champions Damage Control with their leader Bayley taking on the team of Tegan Knox and Liv Morgan. And listen, Liv Morgan was looking pretty good. You know, I mean, listen, Liv Morgan's a snack. I can't hate on Liv Morgan.
God damn.
Tegan Knox is cute too. Let's talk about some moments from the match here. Dakota starts off with a scorpion kick to Knox. Liv nails a basement drop kick to Sky, and Liv grabs a kendo stick, but Knox is like, "Calm down, don't do anything, relax." Knox nails a flying crossbody to control outside of the ring. Liv nails a code breaker to Io, and Tegan nails a shiniest wizard, but Dakota breaks up the pinfall. Liv nails a sunset flip powerbomb to Dakota off the apron to the outside, and Bailey grabs Tegan. Tegan tosses Bailey into the railing, and a woman with a hoodie comes out and kicks Tegan Knox in the face and runs off. And Io Sky nails an over the moonsault to Tegan to retain the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. I think on like a video behind the scenes thing, we found out that it was Xia Li who kicked Tegan Knox in the face. So what do you think about the match and the developments of everything? And I'll start with you, Dan.
All right, well, I just want to say this. In my opinion, the women's tag titles is just a fucking joke. Honestly, at this point, they're not doing anything good with them. I mean, like, do I love Damage Control? Yes. Do I think they could do a lot better with them? Yes. But I don't know. The tag titles have just been a joke ever since they've come out. You know what I mean? I mean, the match, though, aside from that, I just wanted to say that. Aside from that, you know, the match was all right. It was a SmackDown match. It wasn't like anything, oh my God, I'm going to see it on pay-per-view. It just was what it was.
See, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good tag match, surprisingly. I thought it was one of the better women's tag matches that we've seen. But I can understand, like, they really haven't done much with the titles. There's really not too many women's tag teams to begin with. So it's kind of like,
I'm not really paying attention to, like, I feel like if anything, aside, I don't think they should have had women's tag titles. I feel like they should have brought like a women's mid-card title or something. That would have made a lot more sense because they have a lot more just singular women, you know, like,
yeah, but then that would be 3 single women's titles. Unless you get rid of one, unless you just say like get rid of like the Raw women's title and just be like, okay, this is this title, you know, and that would be fine. But then it's like it kind of becomes a little crowded, right?
I mean, it's already kind of crowded from how many titles we have. I mean,
but compared to AEW,
I'm just saying, I don't think that they needed the women's tag titles. I think they could have done something a little better with
it. I respect that. Again, I think if the division was like if there was a bigger division, then I can understand, you know, maybe they would do it. But I do get your point. Like, I don't understand why, you know. But thank you, sir.
Like, I never really pay attention much to this whole women's division thing because I don't even like it. I think it's just a joke at this point. I mean, again, yes, I do like Damage Control, but I don't even think they're doing anything right with them. You know, like ever since the whole Bianca Belair team thing, it hasn't really seemed like they have much to do with them. You know?
Okay. Yeah, that's sort of what the whole women's division has been about, right? I mean, on Raw, Damage Control, SmackDown, Damage Control. You don't get a bit of Ronda Rousey, but it's mainly Damage and Bailey, or I'm sorry, and Bianca, and
they put them
now Becky's back.
Them in matches, they're not giving them any good storyline. You know?
Okay. Respect.
That's just my take on it.
Dude, totally respect it. I agree. You know, that they need to come up with better. I do agree with the women's storylines. They have to be a bit better. It's just been focused on Damage Control. How about you, Christian? What do you think, sir?
I thought the match was good. You know, he was winning it, you know, makes Damage Control even more hated. I had to agree with some of the things Dan said. The women's tag team titles is, yes, I don't see any point of them being here because, like you said, there's not really many tag team titles or women tag teams on the roster. About a women's mid-card title, I don't think that's a good idea considering the fact that you have we have a brand. It's not like AEW. AEW, they don't have a brand split. WWE, they have a brand.
Yeah, I don't know.
Christian is freezing. This is great.
I understand why they brought the titles up. They wanted more titles for the women, so more.
He's back. Hi, Christian.
Am I freezing? I heard you guys that entire time.
You froze. Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. The women, but I would have to disagree a little bit. What you guys would say about the women's division, except for SmackDown. Yes, the SmackDown women's division is really hard to watch right now. Their women's tag team or their women's champion, like I mentioned this before about Ronda Rousey, doesn't want to be there. I personally think she's the champion right now because Charlotte's not there. Or they really don't have anyone else better to take that title away from Ronda. But the Raw women's division is actually pretty good. See, Liv Morgan, she's just really, really over with the crowd. The crowd loves her. That's why I think that's why she's being with she's hanging around with Tegan Knox, because no one really gives a shit. Ever since Tegan Knox came back, no one's gave two shits about her. Everyone loves Liv Morgan. So her being with Liv Morgan, I think, will help Tegan Knox, build up, and I think, she'll get over with the crowd. But I think the Raw, I know I don't want to get too much in the Raw because we're talking about SmackDown, but I do think the Raw women's division is good.
They have more well-known stars.
And they just have better overall workers over at Raw. I'm not too interested in the Alexa Bliss and Bianca Belair feud. I'm kind of hoping I'm hoping for something else after that. But hey, we got a possible, Rhea Ripley versus Becky. We have Bailey versus Bianca. So right there, those are two good matches on the Raw women's division, and I can't say any good matches about SmackDown.
You agree that Ronda's the champion only because Charlotte's not there, and I'm gonna be honest. Charlotte she should stay away from the women's title because they always give it to her. I mean, I understand they're trying to make her like Rick, because she is Ric Flair's daughter. They're trying to make him like Ric Flair, but it doesn't work. I mean, you put him in the title so much. She's kind of like, I don't want to say John Cena because I said this for a lot of people, but she kind of is like the female John Cena considering she takes the title from everyone and she has to be on top no matter what. No matter what feud she's in, she has to be in the main event because that's how WWE sees her. I don't see her like that. She's a good wrestler. Don't get me wrong. Good character, good wrestler. Just leave her out of the title division sometimes. Give her a feud with someone else. Have her put them over. I'm just saying, don't always have her win the women's. That's all I'm saying.
And the crazy thing is, before I stopped talking about this segment, I just want to say about that. Ever since Rousey debuted at the Rumble in, I think, was it 18 or 20?
Yes, sir.
2018. Yeah, she has only been in the main title picture. I don't think she's ever been any mid card. I don't think she's either ever not held the title or never ever not competed.
The only
for a
time
title.
she didn't hold the title was when she was doing that thing with Triple H and Stephanie. That was the only time she didn't have.
And that's when she first came. That was because she debuted at the Rumble, and that was at the Mania. So that was her first match. But after that, that's when she started winning. That's when WWE started dick sucking her. But yeah, this match was good. Final thoughts about this match for me. It was a good match. I don't want to see too much of women's tag team matches. But it's a decent way to start off SmackDown.
Agreed.
I agree, guys. Charlotte Flair, I like her. I can't hate. I think she definitely brings something. You stop and watch her.
No, she does
on TV.
I didn't say that she didn't bring anything. I just think they need to stop putting her in the title division every single time.
I get it, but the problem right now, and this is WWE's fault, is because they pushed her so much. None of the other women really hold a candle to her, and a lot of the fans' eyes. I think so. For example, Liv Morgan. you're not going to think Liv is going to beat Charlotte because Charlotte has just been pushed to the, so they kind of did themselves a disservice with that. So they're not going to give it to people like Liv or to like a Shayna or to, I wish they do, but right now, the way WWE has been for years, and maybe it'll change with Triple H, is big bucks. Who's going to draw the most? And Charlotte is going to draw over Liv. That's just what they're going to, I mean, that's unfortunately.
No, I'm gonna be honest. In my opinion, I feel like the way they kind of do it. I'm not gonna say John Cena anymore. I'm gonna say she's more like the female Roman Reigns back in like 2016 when no one wanted him there. You know what I mean? Like no matter what they did with him, they booed him. Just because I'm just saying, like that's kind of how I feel it is now.
I know she just has such. Let me tell you something. She has such a great presence.
I'm not gonna
like.
She brings a
Not
lot.
even that. It's not even that she has a great presence. She's a fucking
Stop
UFC
shoving
Hall
her
of Famer.
down the women's title. That's all I'm saying.
And I feel you, but I just feel like if that's the case, then she's gonna have to be in a real like she's gonna have to fight like a Becky or like a Sasha or a Bailey, where it's like significant because you can't have her being fighting Shotzi Blackheart, like.
I'm just saying we've seen those matches 100
Who is
times.
she gonna fight? Who would you like to see Charlotte fight?
Yeah, she's fought everybody. Or we talk about Charlotte or Ronda.
Charlotte.
Okay, yeah, Charlotte's fought everybody.
If Charlotte's, let's say they made.
Like, who do you think she'll have a successful mid-card rivalry with that would rival with the women's title match?
I mean, I'm not saying that I'm just saying that she could put someone over instead of always having to go over herself. You know what I mean? Like, say she went into a mid-card match with let's say she did go against Liv Morgan. Let's just theoretically put that match in there, and Liv goes over her. I feel that could do a lot more for Liv than it ever could for Charlotte.
Liv kind of already got her run.
Here's the thing. I think
theoretically saying if you put Charlotte against anybody like Tegan Knox or something, and they actually put her over and make it like a clean victory, and
that's what I was gonna say.
It could work. I'm just saying she doesn't always title picture because if she is, the only people you can really think are going to beat her are Becky, Ronda, Sasha, and not even Bailey. The way they built her, but you know what I mean. Like they're gonna put in matches that we've seen 100 times that we don't need to see anymore.
You hit the nail on the head because I was just gonna ask you like. The problem with WWE is like if they do have Liv win, it's not going to be a clean win. Or if they have Tegan win, they're going to do like a roll up, and then Charlotte's going to act all surprised and mad and shocked, and then they're going to do like I agree 100%. If they did a clean victory, then yes, that would make that person. But WWE doesn't want to make their baby look bad, and that's sort of what and I don't like that either. But I don't know. Let's move on.
Yeah.
We see two different promos. We get a promo from Gunther. We get a promo from Ricochet. Just both different opinions and thoughts of view on wrestling, professional wrestling. Ricochet is like a lot of fans are going to think I, pretty much can't do this, but bet on me. Gunther is just basically like, I'm going to break your body, toss you around the ring, and break your spirit. Pretty good promos from these guys. We then get another promo. We see Sami Zayn and the Usos backstage. Sami asks if someone, asks about where his jacket, and the Usos tell him that Solo is with the tribal chief. And, breathe, everything's okay. Roman's going to be coming, everything's fine. And Jay says tonight, the tribal chief is going to make that man a full-blown Uso. And then Sami, I'd like, oh my gosh, where did Christian go? Christian's gone. Hello. It's just me and you, Dan. Hi. Christian will be back. Technical difficulties. Oh, and he is back. The Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. Hi, folks. Okay. So then Sammy's gone. Welcome back, sir.
Sorry I don't know what happened to my internet. Sorry.
Welcome back.
Getting it fixed after Christmas.
Dude, you're totally fine. You don't need to apologize at all. We are rolling through. It's all good, brother. Sami leaves the area that the Usos are at, and then Jimmy goes, "You know how the tribal chief be? I think we're setting up Sami for disappointment." And Jay goes, "Tonight will be a good night." So I guess we'll talk about this because this is kind of like a night of promos. Um, uh, d how
They're
are you
just
feeling about this storyline right now?
I think this is just Roman Reigns planning. They're just planning for Owens versus Reigns at the Rumble. So I think they're just pushing that at that point. There's nothing really too much to say about this segment, in my personal opinion. I just think they're just pushing Roman versus Kevin Owens at the Rumble.
I was a little surprised to hear that Cena, was going to be fighting with Kevin Owens. I mean, I don't really get what the whole deal with that is, in my opinion. But no, I do see what you're saying. They're pushing for Roman versus KO at the Rumble, and I would like to see that match again. Hopefully, just in
But we
different.
know Roman's gonna win.
Yeah, we
He's
all
gonna
know
set
it.
up something for WrestleMania. But nothing too much to say about the segment for me.
Me either.
Yeah, same. I mean, again, they're just setting up for later in the night. We then go to footage that was on WWE.com and I think TikTok, maybe not WWE.com, I'm old, TikTok or whatever. And we see footage of LA Knight being tied up. He has tape around his face, and you hear little pig, let me in. And he says, not by the hair on a little chin chin. And then we see LA Knight walking backstage after that video footage is shown. So obviously, LA Knight is kidnapped by somebody. And then LA Knight comes into the ring, and Knight says, for the past few weeks, I've been abducted, but I'm still knocking on Bray Wyatt's door. Your recent return is the most talked about ever, but all you've done is dress like a circus freak and say it wasn't me. I know it was who it was. I could hear you. I could feel you. Put on whatever you need to walk down here and get stomped out. So then Bray comes out. And Bray says, I'm sick of you. I'm sick of this game we're playing. I know you don't believe me, but you're barking up the wrong tree with we both know how this story is gonna end, don't we? I'm gonna give you one more chance to deliver your message. And then LA attacks Bray Wyatt. And then we get an Uncle Howdy message. And he's like, so you want to be scared? And we finally get to see Uncle Howdy in the flesh, the physical form. He comes out on the stage. LA Knight runs off, and Uncle Howdy starts to laugh. And Bray Wyatt's in the ring, and he kind of looking a little confused. Like he at first is like kind of like into it, and then he looks confused. So let's unpack this because I know this is a big deal in the WWE universe now. This whole Bray Wyatt storyline. What do you think, Christian? I'll start with you.
All right. So
What's going on here?
um my theory here, first off, I thought they were making progress in the storyline. Uncle Howdy appearing is progress. We're finally, we know we're going to start maybe seeing Uncle Howdy in in the ring instead of, just him doing a promo on the Jumbotrons all the time. Um I I don't have an idea who it is. Um I want to say I think it's Bo Dallas, Bray Wyatt's brother. My plan is maybe, he reveals himself, maybe him, LA Knight and Bray Wyatt have a match, and then maybe it's something with Uncle Howdy, and Uncle Howdy interferes with it some way, and then I think it's gonna be Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt at Mania or something like that. That's just my personal opinion. But I'm glad the storyline has made some progression. Because the last couple of segments with this hasn't been interesting at all. But it was cool for Uncle Howdy to come back, not come back, but to come on the screen.
Couple of things to say here. People are saying I'm really hoping it's Bo Dallas. People are claiming that it could be Cameron Grimes. That's another name that's being
I
tossed
think it's Bo
around.
Dallas.
The question for you guys.
Sense if it was Bo Dallas. But then again, you also have to think about it like this. If Bo Dallas was to go against Bray Wyatt, do you really think he's gonna win?
Maybe some supernatural, a new member will join, like that's what they always do. Just like they did with Edge and AJ Styles this year when Damian Priest came out, like they find was. But my next question for you guys.
They actually you could honestly not tell who was gonna win in that match. You would really be like, is it him or is it him? If you compare Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, I'm sorry, but Bray Wyatt's gonna win 95% of the time. The only time, I don't know. It's a weird story.
Have to be.
I would definitely like to see it be Bo Dallas, though, considering it would make more sense for storyline purposes. I mean, that's just my take on it.
So what's your
Personally, if I had to book this myself, though, I would have made it like Braun Strowman or something. That's me, though.
Fuck why?
Because Strowman and him have history. I mean, technically, Strowman has.
Come on.
wait,
I'm
Anthony,
just-
what was your question?
Well, okay. Let me unpack that quick and I'll ask my question. I feel you, but here's the thing. They could do two things with Bo Dallas and Bray, right? They could have Bo Dallas go over with a cheap victory and then have almost like them, like almost like Ministry of Darkness, like pull Wyatt and be like, now you're with us. Or Bray wins and it sort of takes over and becomes this leader of this group. And he sort of gets Howdy's powers, or he gets control of whatever forces that Howdy has control over him, and he is the main fucking leader and the main. I could see them doing that. But my question was, there was a video posted. I think it was like, I don't know where it was. It was for the holidays, and in the video you see, I think it's like a bunny rabbit, and you see, I think it's Brock Lesnar running over it. And so people are saying that could be a tease for Lesnar versus Wyatt at WrestleMania.
I would love to see that match.
That would be cool.
I wouldn't.
Why?
No, there needs to be a story build up behind it.
Like, where? Like, I mean, you just said Bray Wyatt versus Bo Dallas. Bray is gonna win. Like, you really think Bray is gonna beat Lesnar?
You
at
never.
WrestleMania?
I don't know, dude.
Like, that's more closer though than Bo Dallas.
Yeah,
versus-
that is way more closer.
I don't think so. Because here's my thing. But listen, and I'm gonna say this about Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt has never gotten a chance to be a star like he is right now. He has been WWE Universal whatever champion, but he hasn't been this level. Lesnar is fucking it, and they suck his fucking cock for just walking in. Do you honestly think they're going to put a guy who, yes, right now is doing really good, but a mid-card guy over fucking the most stupendous, the biggest WrestleMania main event ever? Like, this guy is, like, and that's WWE's problem, I think. Stop booking these people to be fucking end-all be-all people, because then when Bray Wyatt comes up, because my thing is, okay, so Bray beats Brock, so why the fuck was Brock able to beat Undertaker?
No.
What?
I said your mic was like cutting out through like most of what you were saying.
Oh shit! Sorry. I'm just listen. I wouldn't mind that. I just think it would be like a Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose WrestleMania thing. Like, it's like you can't put Brock Lesnar up against a guy who is not the same level as he is. Like, I hate to say that, but you can't. If you want WWE to give Wyatt the win, I don't think they would make him beat Lesnar. And if they did, it would be with help from somebody.
Well, I think another thing with Lesnar is, I don't know, recently in many years in the past, Lesnar hasn't really done much storytelling. I think the best storytelling he's done is the past was with recently Roman. Yeah. Bray Wyatt, we know, loves to do more of the story base than actually like getting to the wrestling part. That's what we know about Bray Wyatt. He likes the story behind wrestling. Brock doesn't seem to be a guy who does that. He just wants to go out there, whoop ass. That's what he does. And I can see what you mean by, if you put Brock versus Bray, it's not going to be like, ooh, who's going to win? It's going to be like, well, you kind of see more Lesnar doing it. But if Bray could do it, theoretically, if he could do it, that would put him over 10 times than if he beat Bo Dallas.
No, I get it, but like, I think Christian hit a good point earlier when he said the storyline is what makes this, because if Brock Lesnar is going to fight, like, why would Bray want to fight Brock? It makes no sense, So, like, my thought is storyline, but also, do they have enough good chemistry together? Because you just made a good point. Bray's all about storytelling, Brock's all about fighting. Maybe they could work together, but sometimes, like, you need to have a little bit of storytelling if you're going to fight Bray Wyatt. Like, look at that whole John Cena versus Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse match. I mean, that was just nothing but storytelling because there was really wasn't much
Well,
to it.
I think we're all forgetting. Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt did have a feud at some point in 2016. So maybe
That
that's
yeah, they
you know what I'm
did.
talking about. They had a feud in 2016. They fought at Roadblock,
Yeah, but that was
like
never
2016.
like fully
No, I
done.
know it was. No, I
When
know. That's what I'm saying. Maybe they can rebuild a bit because that match was shit.
Yeah, but then why would they want to rebuild a shitty match?
I mean, then
I couldn't tell you.
like, when's the last time you can think of a Bo Dallas match that was an actual good match?
Well, you got to remember it's different because it's his brother. Brothers are gonna want to make each other look good. It's not gonna be like Bo Dallas fighting fucking Curtis Axel. Like it's gonna be Bo Dallas and Bray, like two brothers. My opinion, I'm sorry, I'm more invested in two brothers. You don't know the family history. You don't know. They could do a storyline where it's like these two brothers are fucking two psychopaths and they're both fucking nuts, and it's just like who's fucking nuttier. You know what I'm saying? Like. So that's my thought on it. If they put it as this is my brother, then that would be sick. They're probably not. But I'm sorry. I know we keep battling over this. I do listen. If they do it, I will watch it. I'm not going to be like, oh fuck this. But again, the storyline has to be good.
No, I will definitely agree. No matter what the
Yeah,
story.
me too.
So all right, let's move on. Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Solo Sikoa arrive backstage. I'm going to cover the Intercontinental title match quick, and then we'll go over our thoughts about it right after our first break. Is this our first break or our second?
First.
Look at us. See, Christian's keeping us on time. So the Intercontinental Champion Gunther, I can do a really good job of it, with Imperium, is taking on Ricochet, the World Cup champion. Before the match, Adam Pearce sends Imperium members to the back so that they can't interfere. Ricochet nails an enziguri to Gunther and a dropkick in the corner. Gunther nails applies a Boston Crab and nails a backbreaker and then applies a sleeper. Ricochet with kicks to the back of Gunther, and Ricochet nails a Hurricane Rod to the outside and a springboard moonsault to the outside. Ricochet nails a vertical suplex. That was very cool. He got a 2 count. And then a shooting star press, which also got a 2. Gunther, though, nails a chop and a power bomb. The two slap one another, and the end comes after Gunther nails a last symphony to Ricochet, and he gets a 3 count and retains the title. After the match, Imperium circle around Ricochet as if they're going to attack, but Braun Strowman comes out, and all the Imperium members leave the ring. So I'm going to leave you guys with this question to think about before we go. Do you think it's smart to... And I know they do this all the time, and we've talked about this before, Christian. I think you and I, MJF. There's heel champions that are cowards. I get it, but do you think it's really smart to make a man who is the size of Gunther, who is just an athletic powerhouse, not only him, but 2 other athletic powerhouses, leave the ring because one big guy comes out to do something? I get it. It's wrestling, but just think about that. Come back. We'll talk. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ant.
I'm still Christian Cage. I'm just getting a hoodie.
He's getting a boogie with a hoodie.
And Dan. And
that's Macho Man Dan. Dan, the fucking man. Macho Man Dan with the plan. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, boom. And I'm your longest reigning two-time longest reigning and defending.
You're lucky there hasn't been a pay-per-view this month.
WWE
Yeah, you're lucky.
Pay-per-view champion. Y'all can hate. Listen. You can't when you're at the top. Not everybody likes you, so I get it. Hate on it. I respect it. I'm the champion. We're gonna keep it moving. That's all I'm gonna say. So, I asked the question. We don't necessarily need to just talk about that question, but I guess I'm asking you guys: what do you think of the match, and do you really think Strowman and Gunther is worth the watch? And
this match was fucking awesome. This match was fucking awesome. 5 out of 5 stars. You know, I kind of had a feeling Ricochet wasn't going to win the match, but he put up an incredible fight. He's so fucking athletic. He actually did come close to winning a few times, and the fans fucking love that guy, as do I. Um, Gunther, he's just a, he's a big boy. I don't know how to explain it. Having Gunther kick out of like Ricochet's like big moves, it's kind of like why? Because like Ricochet just hit all like his 3 moves, and you're just getting kicked out of it. Um, but I knew this match was gonna be good. Braun Strowman coming out after the match, definitely maybe we see something from them in the future. Well, we did last night. But other than that, there's nothing really much to say about it for me personally, only because this is kind of a match we've seen already. So that's why me personally, I don't have too much to say about it, other than it was another good match between these two. Gunther is the guy who took the title off Ricochet, so um, it would have been cool to see Ricochet get some revenge. But good 5 out of 5 match for me.
Okay, respect. But and what do you think about Braun Strowman and Gunther? Do you think that this rivalry?
I think it will lead to Gunther defending the IC title against Strowman,
Yep.
either either on a SmackDown episode or Royal Rumble, but they don't really defend mid-card titles at the Royal Rumble. They only defend like the women's title and the men's title, and they had like 2 other matches before the Rumble. So I don't know if they'll do it at the Rumble, but they'll definitely have a Strowman versus Gunther match for the IC title soon.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's a good match if they did that, but
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
for sure. What about you, Dan? What do you think about this match?
the match was good. I'm not gonna sit here and trash it. It was a good match, but I mean, I don't know. I just didn't see the point in having Ricochet win a whole fucking tournament to become the World Cup champion or whatever it is, and then go against Gunther for the Intercontinental title, and then just like have him kind of get not destroyed, but I mean,
Just to lose.
yeah, just to lose in that aspect. Look, Gunther took off the title from him. I get it. He wanted revenge. I get that whole thing. But if you're gonna build up a guy to win a whole damn tournament, I mean, didn't he beat Braun Strowman for fuck's sake? I mean, I don't know. I don't see the whole point in having him win a whole damn tournament and then lose immediately to this guy who's a big guy who apparently needs to have his fucking goons fight alongside him to help him win. I don't know. I don't get that whole fucking thing.
I say that he's afraid of Braun Strowman.
It's possible. I mean, I could definitely see Strowman and Gunther fighting. It would be a good match. I can really see that being a good match because they're both really good powerhouses. But I mean, to see him come out and assist Ricochet also kind of made me a little curious on it. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait and see on where that goes.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't really care so much about the storyline, but let's move on. Roman Reigns is backstage with Paul Heyman and Solo. And Jimmy tells Roman that Sammy is his dog, but he loves the family, he loves the bloodline. And if you don't want to make him, because Sammy being friends with Kevin Owens, that's fine with me. So then Roman's like, call Adam Pearce. Paul Heyman calls Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce shows up. And basically, Heyman says that Roman Reigns and Sammy want to challenge Kevin Owens to find a partner for a match against the 2 of them next week. So I'm gonna go back to this when we get to our main event, and we'll after the main event, this last segment. So we'll circle back to this in a minute. But it looks as if they just want to make us think that Sammy is still friends with Kevin Owens, right? So we'll get back to that in a moment. Our main event of the night is a triple threat match, #1 contendership for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch this one, you guys. I kind of fast forward. Hit Row, though, defeated Legado del Fantasma and the Viking Raiders. I did see the big botch by Top Dollar. That's pretty much what everyone is talking about. But my question for you guys is, are Hit Row the right team to take on the Usos. And what do you think of Top Dollar's like botch?
Fuck no. Hit Row is not the team to take on the Usos for the tag team titles. Not even fucking close. They haven't done shit since they've been back. They've been, you know, they've been fighting jobbers since they've been back. Um, this match wasn't good. I thought Top Dollar hitting that, he shouldn't have even tried it. He's a fucking big man. He's not like, you know, the dude from like the Viking Raiders can probably, or the only big man that really can pull that off. Ivar specifically. Um, it,
People are like, oh
the
shit.
crowd was dead. The crowd was dead. The Viking Raiders don't even look unbeatable anymore. Um, no, no. Hit Row definitely haven't done shit since they've been back. They're not interesting. The only thing that's interesting, the only like interest I get from watching Hit Row is is the girl's name. I forget her name.
Fab.
Yeah. So she's the only girl, like she's the only thing that interests me in this Hit Row. But
Me too.
even in if they had, maybe if Swerve wasn't in AEW, they'd be more interesting to watch. But no, I'm not interested in fucking
Hit
Hit Row.
Row. I like Zelina Vega.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Zelina Vega as well.
So go ahead, Dan.
She's-
What do you think? I agree. I agree, Christian. Like Hit Row can take it, like, and go somewhere. Fab is the bomb. I agree. And Hit Row, to me, I also don't think they deserve a title shot. Go ahead,
I
Dan.
know.
Y'all pretty much covered what I had to say.
Right? Like, I mean, they suck. Wow, I kind of laughed really weird. It's like a fucking dog. That was intense. So next up we have Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler backstage, and they attack Raquel Rodriguez. They stretch her arm out, her already injured arm, and yeah, it just makes Raquel look a little bit weak and come in terms of facing Rousey. Do you like this rivalry?
No.
Why
What, Raquel versus Rousey?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Dan go because he started already. Go ahead, Dan.
I mean, like, why did she have to attack? Like, really? I mean, this big ass, not, you know what I mean? Like, this big bitch coming from UFC, coming champion, beating everybody in fucking sight, apparently, and now she's gonna fucking attack her like a little bitch? No, that doesn't make sense. Don't do shit like that. It doesn't make sense. Why have someone who can obviously destroy anybody in the woman's roster beat up somebody backstage like a little fucking punk? Why? It doesn't make sense to me. I'm not liking this feud whatsoever. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. Okay, I can see that Raquel's this big lady and to be attacked. But to be fair, Ronda Rousey is a UFC Hall of Famer. I mean, just because you're big doesn't mean that you can't get taken down. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
You
I
gotta
see
think
what
about
you're
it.
saying.
Before
No,
Ronda Rousey,
No, I
real
don't
quick,
think what I said though. Ronda coming from UFC, she looks like and can destroy anybody on this woman's roster. And to beat up somebody like a little punk because you want to doesn't seem to make sense.
I feel you. Go ahead, Chris.
she was the most dominant female combat athlete way before. Uh, no, I don't know, even before UFC. Like she kind of put UFC on the map for women's like MMA. Um,
100.
so I see in a way, like I know, like we keep talking about like Rousey is champion, but like if you really think about it, it is what's best for business. Like it just is. Like I don't want to see it. I know. Let's be honest. Raquel Rodriguez is not going to beat her.
No.
I don't think Shayna will either. I don't know what they're going to do. The SmackDown Women's division is just a fucking mess.
Christian, I
Without,
agree.
especially without Charlotte, and
Mm.
I hate to say it, without Sasha either, because as much as I don't really like
Wrestle
Sasha,
Kingdom.
as much as I don't really like fuck with Sasha, she adds value, especially on a division that's rotten. So I don't know.
Um, sorry. Um, So here's my take. I do agree with Christian's thought because Ronda is a real act, and I hate to say this, but she is a actual combat fighter. She's not a pro wrestler. She's not sports entertainer. She is a real
Right.
combat black belt Olympian. Okay.
She's a fucking gold medalist Olympian.
So if you and I now get where Christian I kind of respecting Ron a bit now that Christian made that point because it's true if you think about it. If you are and I get build up your other wrestlers like they're supposed to be. That's why there's a fight about kayfabe, right? Like there's some people who are like, don't like make the wrestlers be like they're actually real, right? So there's some people like, well, just because Ron is a actual combat wrestler, in this division, all of them are real combat wrestlers. So there's that point of like, where maybe should they even break the kayfabe and like sports entertainment, pro wrestling type deal? But we're not stupid. There are people who don't watch pro wrestling, who watch UFC, who know who Ronda is and knows her ability. And if those people turn on wrestling and see Ronda losing, then Ronda's actual combat ability goes down. And that's why it's tricky to have a actual person in there because a lot of the people that tune in to see her, that tune in might just tune in to see her because they've seen her on UFC, Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, oh shit, when she came out of Rumble because I knew how big she was in UFC. But I do hear what you're saying though, that it doesn't make anybody look good if someone is being dominated like that. But they did that so they can have that whole super overcome story, which we'll talk about next week. Underdog story, which we'll talk about next week on SmackDown when we cover that. But for now, let's table this and move on to the last segment. The bloodline come out, and basically Sami Zayn, the Roman's talking about Kevin Owens talking shit, and Sami ends up slipping up and he says, "I'm Kevin's only friend," and he goes, "No, I was Kevin's only friend." And then after that, we see John Cena on the Titantron. And he basically says that he will team up with Kevin Owens as Cena Claus comes to town next week on SmackDown to take on Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. So I'll throw it to Dan. Or I'll throw it to Christian first. What do you think of, this idea? Do you think it's here's the problem with WWE. You had the same storyline going into War Games of do we trust Sami? Do we trust Sami? And it's like you trusted him through all of that, and now all of a sudden he's gonna start being weird and be like, "Oh, I am Kevin's only friend." Like, I feel like if that was the case, they should have been doing that all along. What do you think about this whole storyline segment situation?
Well, it's a big way to end the year with a tag team match involving John Cena, who hasn't wrestled a match at all this year. And it's the last SmackDown of the year. So obviously a lot of history between KO and Cena as rivals, but I guess they're friends now. Cena's last match was against Roman at SummerSlam in 2021, so now he'll be facing Roman again in tag team action. I think it's going to be interesting to see how Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens will be in the match. I have a feeling, when Roman gets tagged in, or when Roman tags in Sami and maybe Cena tags in KO and they're finally in the ring together. I wonder what's gonna happen. I could tell you could tell the bloodline wasn't happy about what Sami Zayn said about Kevin Owens, being his only friend, being his only friend. So this is gonna be another loyalty test for Sami Zayn, and I think it's gonna be a fucking great way to end 2022.
But I have another question though. I mean, why? Oh, Dan just left. Hi. Why another loyalty test? Because there's a problem. You already did this at War Games. Sami distracted Kevin. It's you've already proved that Sami slipped. Why even do this storyline?
No, I agree.
And I get it, they're friends. It's true. I just feel like At this point, there's sometimes where you don't need to blur reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, make this just be Sammy is with Roman. He's never going to be friends with Kevin. It's a whole backstab situation. I'd rather see that than every single week. Is Sammy my real friend? Like, it's like, come on. Like, you're not going to have somebody that you don't trust in this. And it looks like, I'm telling you, excuse me, it looks as if Roman and Sammy is going to happen eventually, because there's no way they're going to keep pushing this. Oh, is Sammy, my friend for what? For what? What's the outcome of this? So I don't know, but I am excited to see the match, but only because I want to see Cena,
No, yeah, it's gonna be huge, man. Just anytime John Cena is back, it's huge. One, it's John Cena. He doesn't wrestle. Everyone likes to see him wrestle. He's teaming up with Kevin Owens, fighting a big match. It's not a pay-per-view. It's on televised TV Friday night. Can't beat it. So it's gonna be a fucking great, like I said, great way to end 2022 for WWE.
Dude, it's going to be a sick show. So I don't know what happened to Dan. He'll be back. This is the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. This is, it happens. Shit happens. Oh, before we wrap up, what was your MVP match moment of the night?
The Gunther Ricochet match was definitely the best match of the night. I'm gonna say the MVP of the night was, I'm gonna say Cena.
Dude, seeing
Just
him.
cause him popping up is always the MVP of the night. But the Gunther Ricochet match was definitely the best match of the night. Too many my final thoughts, too many promos.
I agree with
Excuse me, too many promos. Glad we get to see Uncle Howdy. And just gotta build up that SmackDown Women's Division a little bit better. But
yeah,
we'll see how it plays out, and we'll see how next week's SmackDown goes, because that'll see what the momentum of is going into 2023.
We shall see, sir. We shall see. Well, everybody, I'm Ian. That's still Christian. And my moment of the night was I think what was it? I think Cena and Howdy. Those two are the two cool things for me.
Oh shit! I would have gave Howdy number one if Cena never popped up.
I'm gonna end this quick. And then we are going to be back. We have our Christmas episode coming out soon. We have our Broken Skull series sessions recap with Chris Sherrill coming out. We'll be back. Thank you for checking out this week's episode of SmackDown. Stay safe, and we will be with y'all soon. Bye.
Peace.